Hello and welcome to the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream. I am Community Manager Cordovan, keeping busy here this weekly Wednesday noontime live stream here. We just released Update 24 Patch 1, and we're working on a hotfix. So I will talk about that in just a second. But I did want to let you guys know that we appreciate you being here. Join us in chat, ask us some questions, and if we can answer them, we will. Don't forget to follow us on twitch.tv/DDOstream if you would like to be notified for whenever we're going live with this show, other shows throughout the week, and other shows by other community streamers. We want to welcome Titan to our stream. He's streaming now on Friday at noon and Sunday at 5 p.m. here on DDO Stream. So Titan, if you've been in our DDO Stream chat, you've probably run into him, and he is taking the plunge to do some streaming himself. So welcome, Titan. Technically, the name is Titan201419, and that's how you can find his Twitch channel, his own Twitch channel as well. Again, Titan201419. We appreciate you being a part of DDO Stream. It's been a couple of good shows so far, and we look forward to many more. So, hello and welcome, everyone. If it looks a little bit like that scene in South Park behind me where they actually put the potato in the guy's heart in the South Park movie, well, that's because we just went live and we found a pretty significant bug that's going to require a hot fix. What is the bug in particular? Well, we're still working on all the details because, like I said, it's only been like 20 minutes now. But the issue is that scrolls cannot be equipped. That may be how you'll first encounter it. But really, it's a larger issue than that. What we have going on is that stackable items are having problems. They're not being, either in the case of scrolls, you can't equip them, although we're seeing some possible workarounds in the chat room that we need to investigate before I broadcast them on. The other thing is that, say, anything that's in a stack, like, say, spell components or whatever, once you use one of those, you can't change it around in your inventory. Now, it'll still be usable, so you can still cast spells and everything, thankfully, but you can't switch it around in your inventory once used. But we have identified at least what the cause of the problem is, and we're working on a hot fix. Can't tell you whether or not it's going to be, say, later today or first thing tomorrow. If I was to guess, I'd say maybe first thing tomorrow, but we'll see if we can even get it out sooner than that. And we'll keep you updated throughout the week here. So how does this actually affect you? Well, hope you're not a scroll caster, because if you are, going to have some problems here today. But we are working on a fix as fast as possible, and we do apologize for this particular issue there. Oh, actually, Titan tells me, Cordovan, the numbers are like this. Titan 2014-19. So Titan 2014-19. There we go. Awesome. We did get release notes, and Thorin, you can find a link to them in our chat. Thank you, Alarvin, for posting those up. But you can also just find them on DDO.com. Head to the media section in the release notes, Update 24, Patch 1. And we're actually going to go go through some of those notes today while we're waiting around. So the thing is today is I had thought that maybe some members of the Circle of Night, Nephatron and his crew, were maybe going to join me here today, and they wanted to show off some guild runs of Epic Elite. I don't actually have an Epic level character on Galanda, so I am logged in on my official plus Cordovan account. And that's pretty awesome. So it's something I don't do too much on the live servers, or particularly sitting around the marketplace here. I guess I should find a more private area. But nonetheless, I am on my official Cordovan here. So let me actually get out of the public eye so I'm not interfering with customer service or any of that kind of thing. There we go. That way I'm not getting a lot of tells, although I still will get some. Guess I better go anonymous. See, this is what happens if you... Oh, I am, okay. There we go. So yes, I'm probably not going to die today. But anyway, so I was on there just in case Nephatron and his crew wanted me to pop in with some Epic Elite. That way I could actually run with them, because I didn't have anyone that could break the Epic level cap. An admin can do just about anything we want. So that's the point here. But I also basically just thought I'd answer a lot of questions today. We'd talk a little bit about the update, some other things happening on the forums and all that sort of thing. So sounds pretty good. Yeah, I just call you Titan. I'm sorry. I'm on Galanda. Again, this is my second swing through Galanda this week, or this cycle. After Galanda, we're going to be heading to Wayfinder next week, and the week after that. And after that, kind of have to see what's going on. We're going to be buttoned up fairly soon to probably Lamania on Update 25 at some point, I would imagine, in February. And but until then, we're going to be doing another server cycle. I know I've had a lot of requests to go to Thelanis, so maybe I'll hit up Thelanis first after Wayfinder. But next week should be on Wayfinder. This week is on Galanda, and like I say, I'm just basically hanging out on Galanda right now. If time permits and we, run out of questions and that sort of thing, then I'll just go ahead and switch back to maybe an iconic and we can run a quest or whatever. But I wanted to give Nephatron and crew, the Circle of the Night, the chance to join up with me and see if they wanted to run something. All right, let me get to some of the questions here today. Let's see. Tokens of the Traveler are back in the store. That may be a mistake. But I'll take a look at that. Let's see. Do we actually see Tokens of the Traveler? Yep, there we go. Okay, so we'll probably just need to unpublish that from the DDO store. As far as I know, we don't have any plans to bring the token or the Traveler Festival back immediately. So, but maybe it is right now because the NPC's there and you can get them in the store. So I guess, but I don't think it's enabled. I wouldn't try doing it unless you have free points you don't mind blowing. But yes, we are working on a hotfix for the scrolls and stacks. Can't be unequipped or split. That's the issue that we're talking about here. So, Mysterious. So I'm going to actually get to the release notes in just a little bit. Let's see if we got anything else. We have some questions on Mysterious Fragments, so we'll be getting to that. A question about champion drops. We can get to that. When will a build be pushed to Lamania? Any official date yet? No, not at this point. We don't even really have an exact internal date for Lamania yet. I mean, we kind of have a ballpark, but that's really about all there is to it at this point. We're still heavy in active development of Update 25, so not at all ready to go to Lamania yet. But we'll see. And we have more questions on Mysterious Fragments. So why don't we get to that here real quick? Let me just give you something to look at. Maybe I'll have a Cordovan dance while I go through a few of these here release notes. All right, so Update 24 release notes. I guess I better call them up. There we go. Update 24, patch 1. So Mysterious Fragments, one of the big things that came in patch here is a reward system for monster champions. They're called Mysterious Fragments. And what will happen is as you defeat monster champions, there's a chance for these Mysterious Fragments to drop. If you are fighting and defeating a mini-boss and you see a mini-boss chest that shows up, then there's a good chance the Mysterious Fragments will be in the chest. But if you're just killing monster champions throughout the dungeon, they're going to drop like other collectibles, bags and stuff might drop from a monster champion. They're sort of a gold-looking coin that you'll see on the ground. You'll just click on that to pick it up. And so what do you do with these fragments? Well, you turn them into a vendor for a variety of rewards like scrolls, potions, cosmetic items, and even some prestigious and rare pets. Some people had asked on the forums, I saw at least, why we renamed one of the things to, we renamed Panther Cubs to Great Cats. And that's because of the new champions or new creature companions that are showing up in the Monster Champion reward list. We have a tawny lion. So now that we have lions, besides just panthers and stuff, we wanted to expand the terminology to be a great cat. So that's the deal with that. Organizations do not have unlimited resources, so this is kind of a lore way to say that we're going to be changing things up with the Mysterious Fragment vendors. They're going to have a reward list, and periodically, whenever we decide to do it, we're going to be swapping out some of the things in that reward list. So you have the ability to, farm these fragments, kill the champions, do whatever you want to do with them, get the stuff you want, and then have more to look forward to continue to get what you want. So we can actually maybe head over to a Mysterious Fragment vendor if I get to the Hall of Heroes. So let me go ahead into the Hall of Heroes and we'll take a quick look on that. Use a little admin power because I like to run fast. Oh, actually, here we go. So you're going to find them in both the Eberron and the Forgotten Realms Hall of Heroes, and you'll see them in the lower left corner of the initial map you spawn into. You'll see them on the map there, if I would run the right direction. And here we are, Champion Hunter, Mysterious Remnant Collector. I believe we've called them Mysterious Fragments. I don't know if we didn't get the, maybe they're remnants in the game here. We need to coordinate our verbiage. Originally they were called Champion Tokens internally. We changed their name at the last minute, so looks like we may have a little consistency issue there. So these lasting elixirs are stat boosters, just like the Speller, whatever, Bull's Might, Bear's Stamina, with the exception that they last and they pause when you're in a public area. So they last for an hour and go through death and rest and cannot be dispelled. So we've got lasting of all the stats there, haste potions, rage potions, water breathing, jump, shadow walk scrolls to help move you fast, heal scrolls, which is kind of a nice one, and harm scrolls for you pale masters out there. You can thank this guy for the inclusion of harm scrolls. When we were looking at this, I was like, if we're doing heal, we need to make sure we do harm for you pale masters out there. So, but like I say, these are going to change over time, so they may go away. New things might come in, and other things might not go away. We're just going to kind of have to see how things develop here over time based on your interests and what you want to see in them. A couple of notes here on the Mysterious Fragments or Mysterious Remnants. It is a chance to drop, so it's not a guaranteed drop. If you kill a mini-boss or a monster champion, that you'll get one. They have a chance to drop higher chance on Epic Elite than Epic Hard. And of course, monster champions don't spawn in raids, and they also don't spawn on Epic Casual or Normal. So that, that's a change there. Mysterious Fragments can only appear if the difficulty modified quest level is equal or higher than your character level that killed the champion. So what that means is if you if the quest is level, let's say 25, you need to be level 25 in order to get that. And some people have raised a question in chat saying that that may pose a bit of a difficulty for level capped folks because the ability of them to, say, farm epic quests that might be level 23 to 26 or something like that, they're not going to get these mysterious remnants. And that's true. That's true. That is an issue that we are going to be open to maybe taking another look at. But the main reason for this is so that we don't see a bunch of level 28s farming Irestone, that kind of thing. So that was really the impetus of doing this kind of thing. Let's see, but we did have a couple other questions here. Let me get to it. With Mysterious Fragments, will there be a possibility of getting owl bear pets, since I could not purchase the pack during the promotion? These are creature companions, not, say, hireling pets like you got with the Shadowfell Conspiracy. I would never say never. I don't think we could put things like that in, but I don't think we're going to see something like that, at least not initially. Those are special exclusive pre-purchase bonuses from our expansion packs. If we were to bring in a new hireling option, a permanent hireling option, like another, Onyx Panther or Owlbear, I don't know if we say bring them in through Mysterious Fragments or possibly just straight into the DDO store or make them a favor reward or however we wanted to do that. I think that remains up in the air. There has been some discussion about bringing that kind of hireling back in the future. Just have to stay tuned and see when we can find time and interest in getting that in. So, it is true, Almandir mentioned someone in game brought up the point that level-capped characters have a limited amount of quests currently to get these champion drops due to the kill at or below their level. We'll have to see if it's an issue. There are some level 28 quests, so those who are interested in farming them could very well do so. And this is difficulty adjusted, so a level 26 quest on Elite is level 28. Then you're going to get champion tokens if you're level 28. Mysterious Remnants if you are level 28. See, I call them champion tokens. Hopefully I'm not starting a trend here. but that's the That is a possibility. We're just going to have to keep an eye on that. Like I said, the main thing was just to prevent low-level farming of these things. How often will the vendor swap wares for that? It is something that we would need to do during a patch or an update. We can't just sort of bring in a new loot table for them. So, but whether it's every other patch update, maybe just a couple times a year, I think we're just going to kind of have to see how the system plays out and the desires of the community on that particular one. Can I give you a broad stroke overview of what Update 25 will include? Grumpy Cuss asks. Very broad stroke. I can say it's going to be the Temple of Elemental Evil, and I can talk a little bit more about what some of the things Severlin has mentioned, but really the big tentpole of Update 25 is the Temple of Elemental Evil in terms of content. We have plans to work on, say, some enhancement trees to fill out those 3 trees per class this year. I don't know how much of that will get into Update 25. And I'm just going to kind of have to think of some things as I go along here a little bit more. But can we increase attack speed as well as stride speed? There's certain limits on that. You don't want to make it too high, either in striding because it can have an in-game performance issue, or attack speed both for performance reasons and for balance reasons. But perhaps there are some other things. Can I show off the new pet companion? Yes, I will do that in a second. Gold coin on ground in place of a treasure bag, Carpentry asks. Yes, that is my understanding. We'll see that maybe shortly here. How many fragments will you get from a champion? Need to find out about that. I think it's just 1, but we'll find out. I'm just looking through my chat. Grumpy Cuss asks, are getting hirelings to lock in place being looked at? That's something we're going to have to look at, I think, this year, is maybe some more hireling work. But we don't have an immediate sort of... we haven't committed it to a sprint that I'm aware of yet. So, but it is probably something we're going to have to look at, I would imagine. Do the fragments go in a bag? I believe they do, right? It should be an ingredients bag. Caneth crafting is something we are probably going to try to get fit in this year as well. I don't know if that'll be for Update 25. Probably later, I would imagine. Just confirm, are these mysterious remnant drops for champions in Heroic 2? Yes. This is any place that a champion can appear. So this would be Hard and Elite, Epic Hard, and Epic Elite outside of raids, because we don't have champions in raids. Actually ran into that over the weekend. I was running with... oh man, Deep Cutter's crew on Argo. Guild name is skipping my brain right now. And they were like, how come I haven't seen any champions? I was like, because we're in a raid. Alright, just a couple other things, though, related to monster champions that are in the release notes. They are no longer going to spawn in quests below level 5. That's really is to address the Korthos issue, where people were having level 1 characters, wanted to run harder elite in Korthos, and were getting pwned by monster champs. So no champions should be spawning in quests below level 5. Now, the caveat to that is this is also difficulty adjusted. So if you're on a level 3 quest on elite, that makes the quest level 5, and therefore a monster champion could indeed spawn for you. So that's something to be aware of if it's an issue for you. The chance for epic monsters to ignore ability score damage has been reduced from 90% down to 33% on Epic Hard, 50% Epic Elite. So this helps sort of deal with the ability score damage issue that people reported with monster champions. They've had their chance to gain True Sight reduced, but they now have the chance to see invisible. So you invisibility zergers, sorry folks. Going to have to find a way to get around that. The amount of hit point buffs for monster champions have been reduced for most levels. This is to deal with the inflated hit point concerns that some in the community have raised. And the triggered buff from Second Wind has been reduced from 9 seconds to 6 seconds. This is just basically a temporary buff that they get, and it's been reduced there as well. How about mysterious fragments for level-capped characters? I think we just addressed that fairly well. We're going to have to take a look at that. Let me quick look at some other things from Update 24 Patch 1 here. Characters with Greater Rage, which you get at Barbarian level 11, now get plus 10 PRR when wearing medium armor, and in general get plus 10 melee power while they're in their Greater Rage. Ballistas fired by monsters. I'm looking at you storm the beaches, now wait longer to fire when their target emerges from behind cover. They also can no longer hit enemies through cover. That's really to deal with Epic Storm the Beaches, but you'll see that in the Three Barrel Cove public area and such as well. We mentioned about the Panther Cub family being renamed to Great Cat for enhancements. We have some changes to Frenzied Berserker's Storm's Eye and Accelerate Metabolism. We also looked at Occult Slayer and Ravager. I'm not going to go through all the notes there, but we boosted them up in many different ways for the kind of in response to just some of the feedback we've received since the release of Update 23. So if you're playing a Barbarian, check out the release notes there. And then finally, we fixed an issue with a Radiant Servant's positive energy shield not properly applying healing amplification. Same with Exalted Angel and the Epic Destiny tree. Next one is kind of a sad one in our release notes here. My swashbuckler is shedding a little tear. Single weapon fighting feats had previously been granting too much bonus damage based on ability score, your charisma to damage. This has now been corrected to match the actual text, which means up to 50% damage, same as two-handed fighting. So, a little bit less damage for our single weapon fighting people, but at least my testing shows that yes, it is a little bit down, but not. Their swashbucklers are still pretty darn uber, so let me know if you experienced something different. But I think overall this was a bug fix. It took a while for everyone to notice it, both the devs and the community here, but yes, they had been granting too much bonus damage. Golem's Heart no longer triggers at times when it should not, so I'm looking at you exploiters who were exploiting Golem's Heart. We fixed that one up. We did clarify that Glamored Weapon Auras don't work with shields. In Evening Star, we fixed a couple of sort of quest optional completion objectives in Mask of Deception. I did some work regarding, quote, lag, game performance issues in both Temple of the Deathworm and Fire and Thunder Peak. With Temple of the Deathworm, we've dealt with some monsters spawning, and the way they despawn, they disappear from the map after a while. They weren't necessarily doing that in all cases, so now they will. Bone Guardian minions now disappear at the end of the fight. And on Fire and Thunder Peak, we got rid of some of the particle effects caused by the weather. The weather is nicer there, so that should, for those who, particularly those running on middle and under range computers, should see a performance increase in Fire and Thunder Peak. Let's see, I'm just looking at my chat a little bit here too. People are talking to me in-game. Sorry about that. I'm just going to have to ignore you. I don't have time to deal with the chat and everything else. So, Urlock mentions the ammunition vendor on the guild airship is not offering arrows. Is that a new thing? Or is that an old thing? Has that been around for a little while? Why do some of the champions start with 50% health? Probably a bug, I would say. Someone's talking about a ladder. Oh yeah, I got a ladder behind me. I could try climbing up it and hopping down. Yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, we're working on the ladder bugs. Yeah, literally, we're trying to, recreate that issue by going up and down a ladder a lot. Let's see. Let me just kind of quick look at my release notes some more. The only other real changes, Holy Sword tooltip information is now consistent across all descriptions. Some people had bugged us about that. And another fix, automatically consumable items are now automatically consumed when you get them from buyback. Again, I'm looking at you exploiters. Sorry about that, but had to fix that one too. So that's in what's Update 24 Patch 1. We did have a couple other things that we were working on that just didn't make it into the patch, so that'll probably get shuttled off to Update 25, unless we can get them into the hotfix, but really the hotfix right now needs to focus on our scrolls and stackable items issue, and we'll see what's going on. There's a chance we might even get the hotfix up tonight. I'm looking at a IRC chat here internally about where we sit on some of these things, and it looks like Like, we may try to even get that in today if we can, just because it is of significant impact to people who use scrolls. Erlock mentions, did the timer on the VIP gold roll get reset? Did it? Shouldn't have. Unless there's something that happened that I'm not aware of. But, Mistwalker asks about the Players' Council. That's a great time to talk about this. Will there be some new Player Council applications for the new year? Yes, and that'll be shortly, any day now. The main goal with the Players' Council is we're giving them a extensive final survey right now, and they're filling that out through Friday. And then on Monday, we're going to essentially turn off the 2014 DDO Players' Council, make them inactive. We've been giving them a little bit of an end reward in that. I can talk about that in a second. And so at the very least, the goal is next week we're going to start taking applications for the 2015 Players' Council. I'm going to give folks about a week to get in those applications because we want to get the new council seated as quickly as we can. So about a week to fill in the applications, and then I'm going to try to spend another week. Can't guarantee it'll take a week, but I'm going to try to fit it within a week to go through all the hundreds of applications, put them into a spreadsheet, clear them with customer service, put together a diverse list, hopefully as good as we got this year, because I think that was one of the things we did very well with the 2014 council, is find a nice diverse representation, and try to get everyone seated by the end of the month. So that's the goal. So it could be as soon as a couple of weeks that we have a new council, but at the very least, applications. If we can get to them in the next couple of days, we're going to do that. Otherwise, it might be early next week before we formally open the application process. Oh, and the end rewards. I gave them a bunch of 1,000 turbine points each to every member of the council, and we also gave them a little end reward list of basically items that the community team is able to distribute. So cosmetic items, almost exclusively cosmetic items, things that aren't really... They're not going to help you in-game, but they look cool, and in some cases have a unique look or particle effects. And these are things that we've given out in the past, like, say, the Wayfinder Scepter, Scepter of Sybaris, Battle-Worn Shield of Seer, Shen's Robe, a couple other things. Robe of Trivial Knowledge. So, things that you probably have seen before, but we gave everyone in the council a chance to do that. And we're also going to give some of them avatars, forum avatars, if they were interested in that as well. Skunk City asked, do you video conference with the Players' Council, or do they all travel? Mostly it's through the forums. At least in 2014, it was basically a forum thing, where we had a gated off section of the forums that the Players' Council could see and interact with us at. Our goal is to do a little bit more this year. IRC chats, perhaps Skype chats, Google Plus Hangouts, maybe get them onto Lamania exclusively if we can, that kind of thing. But we're going to kind of have to see what time and just how everything works out, I guess, this year. But that's our goal, is to do a little bit more kind of interaction with them outside of the forums and IRC. Let's see. Will the Players' Council find an ease on their NDA for the experience, or will they be held in place? Grumpy Cuss asks. Really, we're kind of taking a pretty relaxed attitude on the NDA for the Players' Council. We really have all year, to be honest. I know some people, write things otherwise on the forums and Facebook and such, but the reality is we've been pretty light on the NDA for the Players' Council this year. They can talk about anything that hit the live servers that they interacted with. The only things that we're asking them not to talk about are things that we maybe proposed that were kind of bad ideas, or turned out to be that there were better ideas out there. Sometimes we'll just sort of use it as a sounding board, right? Hey, what do you think about X? And if they're like, X is the dumbest thing I've ever heard, well, we're not going to do X. And so there's a couple of those things that happened this year in the Players' Council. And so those things we're keeping under wraps just because we don't want to muddy the waters in terms of what we have and are working on and all the rest. But in general, they can talk about just about anything they experienced here on the Players' Council, because 90% of the stuff made it out to the public servers, and they are welcome to talk about their opinions on it, what the process was like, maybe some of the iterations it went through. All that stuff's good. No problem at all. So overall, I think the NDA is pretty light here for the Players' Council. The applications will be available on DDO.com. I'm going to have a link to them in the forums as well. So you'll have no problem getting that application. I'm going to have a link to it on Facebook, Twitter, Google+. Everywhere you could find us, you'll see a link to this application when we're ready to go. Really, well, the only thing we're hanging out on at this point is we want to find a new topic to get people to give us feedback on. Last year, if you recall, we did the Adventure Compendium UI. We didn't end up really having much time to work on that, but we didn't want people answering the same question this year, so we're putting together a new question in the next couple of days, and then we're going to get the council application process kicked off. Lines of supply lags out if you don't kill enough mobs in the waves. Is this on the list of things being worked on? I actually need to double check. I think with Steel Star on that one, that might be in the patch and not in the release notes. Pretty sure we tried to get that into the patch, so I'm going to have to take a look to see if maybe I dropped the ball on that one. Can I put one? Assuming you mean the tawny lion on the DDO wiki? Yeah, I'll make an effort to do that today if time permits. All right, so let me actually use some admin-y things and create some of these monster or mysterious champion tokens, mysterious fragments, remnants, and see what we get. Alright. Let me see if this works. Failed to create. Alright, let me see. Sorry, I just have to do a little bit of a thing. Mysterious remnant. Alright. Alright, so I have got... Do I have them? What happened to them? Let me find them. Set it created. Oh, there we go. Alright, let me do that again. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to want to spawn for me. Maybe maybe I'm not going to be able to do this for you. Well, let me do a little trickery. Let me get into a private environment, and I can try to spawn them on the ground. Obviously, I'm not going to create 1,000 of them. Alright, so here we go. You'll actually see, here's what the mysterious remnant looks like. It's a gold coin there, and it'll just drop on the ground. And I picked it up, and I'm still not seeing it. Where did that go? Fortunately, I'm not having much luck. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this, unfortunately, folks. Let me see if I can do one other thing here. Let's try this one. Maybe it's because I'm not in a quest. Let me actually pop back into a quest and see if I can get that one done. Yeah, we actually did talk about maybe creating a unique item for the Players Council this year, but we just ran out of time as much as anything, so we didn't get that done. But let me see if this works.
The foyer of the Shiny Shilling is tastefully decorated in the style of a small yet successful Stormreach accountancy.
Ah, cool. Yeah, I just have to be in a quest. So let me do that again. Repeat. No. Gonna have to create them on the ground. So it looks like you can get up to 3 at a time, or 5 at a time. Um, so to answer the earlier question, they can drop in multiple stacks. I even see a couple of 7 and 8s in there, so that's not terrible. All right, let me see if I can maybe spawn a larger group. And this might take a little too long to get to that owlbear, but maybe I can just, let me see if I can just create the owlbear. Yes, it looks like I can. Alright, the tawny lion cub. Alright. Alright, so, there we go, the tawny lion club certificate. Bound to account on acquire, allows you to create a lion cub. Add this companion to my stable. And here the guy is. Cute looking guy. And he's got like some treats and tricks and stuff that you can do as well. Let's see. You can lay down. Play dead. You can yowl. Let's see. Oh, that's kind of rad. And then he can dance. Alright, there you go. And that's sort of similar to the owlbear dance a little bit. Looking rad. Okay, well there's our tawny owlbear there. Or tawny lion cub. It's not a permanent hireling, it's a creature companion. So, there's the guy. Let me head back to that mysterious remnant vendor. So yeah, I was saying in terms of how many drop at a time, I was saying up to 10 here. So I imagine it's a random drop. I saw everything from 1 to 10 when I was just super spawning these things in that dungeon a minute ago, as you may have seen. So sounds like you guys can get quite a few. And you do need 10,000 of them for that tawny lion club. Or cubs, so that's a lot, but you'll get quite a few. Yes, I was in the test dojo on live. You noticed, Titan. It's true. It does exist, but you can't get there, nor should you be able to, because you could just auto whack, create yourself all the way up to level 28. Da-doom, doom, doom. Yeah, I don't want to crash the server creating items. So, what epic quests spawn the most foes for champion fragment farming? Epic quests? So I think anything with a high spawn rate, right? So I would personally say look at something like the, what is it, Army of Shadow? What's that one that's in the camp that's kind of difficult? A lot of mobs get spawned in there. You know, anything where you're seeing a lot of mob spawns would be a good one. Do they spawn in challenges? I don't believe so, right? I haven't seen one in a challenge, but I haven't really been running many challenges lately, so. Devil's Assault. You can never go wrong with Devil Assault. You don't need 1,000 to trade something in. Banshee Kate mentions. You'll see the elixirs are 250, and it looks like it goes all the way down to 35 for, say, some of the scrolls. So you only need at least 35 of them, and you'll get that fairly quickly if you're running into a dozen champions per quest and getting 1 to 10 per champion. Although it's not consistent, so I don't know, let's say you pull 20, 30 a quest. It's enough to get you something. Weapon shipment, yep, that'd be a good one. Are there only the traders in the Hall of Heroes? Yes. Right now, the Mysterious Fragment Remnant Collectors are in the Hall of Heroes. Which bag do they go into? Let's find out, huh? There we go. Large collectible bag is where they go, in stacks of 1,000. Yeah, they don't go into ingredients. And they will go into the bag deposit box as well. So the red bags, the collectible bags. Zerkson asks, when they drop, do all party members get the same amount? I'm going to guess yes. I guess we'll find out, right? I haven't personally been in a party with Champion with Mysterious Remnants yet, so we'll find out. But I believe that that's the way it's supposed to work. All right. So let's see. I've shown off the Lion Cub. I've got. Oh, is someone asking if they could add a link to the 2015 Players Council to the DDO Wiki? Good point. I should probably put the 2014 Players Council in there as well. I'll make a note of that. If as soon as I can get the time to do it, I'll try to write something up in the wiki about the Players Council. Unless someone from the council wants to do it on their own. But yeah. Alright, I'm reading it looks like we are going to be working on a hotfix tonight. So it's not a guarantee. Stay tuned for the downtime announcement, but we'll probably do that. I believe they actually do stack in greater than 1,000, it's just that they only stack in 1,000 in the large collectible bag I had. So if I had more than that, they'd stack higher than that. I don't know. Let's actually let's do a little practice here. Does someone Shoe Shadow want to give me a little? Let's see if he's in there. Hey, hey, Shoe Shadow, can you hear me okay? Figured we could give it a little test here to see. We'll both go into Devil Assault. Just sort of see how they spawn and see who all gets them and all that kind of thing. I love being an admin on the live worlds, by the way. I don't get to do it all that often because you have to be kind of careful what you're doing. But I love it. I feel so powerful. Yeah. Oh. Shoe Shadow's gotta go. Alright, you are level 15. You know, just actually stay there. I'm going to switch out into my level 15, and we'll go in. That way we're the same level, so we can find out how that goes. Be just a second. I think I saw that they were bound to account, right? Bound to account on acquire on the Mysterious Remnants. That way you can sort of get them on whoever and, you know, turn them in on whoever needs the stuff. I haven't checked to see the binding status of all those other things. I'll do that though. My guess is they're all bound to account and acquire. Are the scrolls from the Fragment rewards special in some way or the same you can buy at the vendors for plat? They're the same that you can buy at the vendors for plat. But they're another way to do that. And, you know, for people who are running quests anyway and doing all that, it's essentially a free way to get that stuff. So if you still want to spend your plat on it, you can do that. But if you want to, you can get them from the Mysterious Remnant vendors as well. And particularly I know that Harm was something that had been requested to be wider, because it used to just be Veriscante or whatever that would give that stuff out, and now you can get that elsewhere. Alright, there we go. Now we're the same level at 15. So let's do... I guess we're going to have to do Elite. Probably going to get pwned here, but we'll try it. Let me get a hireling here. Katrina, huh? Alright. Fine. Alright, let's see how we do here.
Stormreach guards huddle at their barricades. The stench of brimstone permeates the air.
Yeah, I wanted to say, since Shoe Shadow is level 15, I wanted to be level 15 as well. What we're going to do is test these mysterious remnant drops and see whether they drop for everybody, etc., etc. And we're going to get killed here. Here's our first champ anyway. And there's the chest. Nice. Yep, and there's a mysterious remnant in the chest. Bound to account on acquire. And does everyone have one? Ooh, 29 mysterious remnants. Nice. Looking pretty good there. So you just picked up 29 right off the bat. I was of the belief that for non-mini bosses they would just, well, I suppose either orange name because we're in on Elite. Champion bat. Come on, you bat. Come on. There we go. Yep, and there's one on the ground then. Alright, so do you guys see a mysterious remnant on the ground then as well? Shoot. Okay, cool. So yeah, the answer to the question, that it does drop for everyone in the group. I'm going to try picking it up. Do you still see it, or is it gone? Alright, cool. So it looks like it basically drops for everyone who has one. Alright, you already picked it up. So that answers your question. It shows up for everybody, and that's a good deal. Ooh, someone's... to remember that. Someone's got aggro through the door. That's not very fair, is it? Alright, so to answer the earlier question, I would recommend farming Devil Assault on Elite. I'm gonna have to look into that. That doesn't necessarily seem right to me that, well, I suppose because you're getting a chest just like you would anyone else. But man, there's gonna be a lot of chests in this room. Thank you, T-Grain. Says he loves DDO. Just wanted to let us know. Oh, they can kill you on the other side of the door? Okay. I can't on this guy. This is my regular character. I'm on a non-admin again. T-Grain mentions the inventory problems on Solana. Yes, this is happening now throughout the entire game. So, let's see. Any hint on whether hand wraps will make it into epic green steel crafting? Man, I don't know. That's been a long time coming, hasn't it? We've had a lot of people request hand wraps for green steel, but I don't know. I don't know if I could. I wouldn't want to promise that that would happen. I'd say the odds are perhaps not that great. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Maybe. Can you get augments from the vendor also? No, I don't believe that you can turn in mysterious remnants for augments, if that's what you're asking. Let's see. Monster chunks. God, are these going to be called monster chunks? That would be hilarious. Let's see, do the chests last or disappear after some time? That's a good question. I'll have to... They should just keep appearing. I believe they're just like the regular champion chests that we've seen for, you know, what, about a month or so now. So those don't disappear, so I wouldn't imagine these would either. Yeah, Mary's got some farming plans in the works. Could very well do that. But I mean, really the intention of these mysterious fragments is not to be disruptive. It's to do what you would normally do anyway, and then over time, you know, you'll just be picking up these things and you could turn them in for rewards, that kind of thing. Amandir asked for a docent for a Wayloon end reward. I remember actually asking about that back in the day. Again, I don't know what the odds of that happening are, but we'd have to go back to do it, and I just don't know that we have the time right now to do that, to be honest. But maybe, perhaps. I remember raising that back when it first came out. I was like, "It's gonna be done with docent." They were like, "We don't have time," or something. I can't remember what the issue was. But what is this I hear about Epic Green Steel? Abacus asks, yes, that is in the new producer's letter. That is something we haven't yet talked about here. If you have not seen it yet, our new franchise director, executive producer Severlin, who you've seen for a little while now on the forums, is put together as our sort of roadmap for 2015 here. It includes Epic Veil of Twilight, a new adventure pack in Shavroth, continuing the Shavroth storyline, level capped to 30 later this year. We're going to do Epic Veil of Twilight, Epic Shroud Raid, and Epic Green Steel. In some ways we're considering whether or not we're rolling what you may have heard sentient weapons into Epic Green Steel. And that may be the case. That they're, rather than compete with two new weapon systems, that we basically roll it into one thing. So Epic Green Steel may be sentient weapons, or sentient weapons may be Epic Green Steel, however the terminology ends up working out. But yes, absolutely, that is something planned for our, I believe, currently slated for our third update of the year, so that would be, you know, later this fall, something like that. Be about the general time frame for that. Let's see. Yeah, at the end of Haunted Halls, they're after completion, so that's right. Hey, and actually, I would really check the dev tracker if you're interested in our development slate and this kind of thing. You know, Severlin's been talking to folks outside of the producer's letter as well, just in that thread, talking about some things. I know there was a fighter thread yesterday where we also let slip some of our design thoughts, not commitments yet, but just some things we'd like to work on if time permits, that kind of thing. So there's a whole bunch more that we can talk about here in just a little bit. But, or I guess I could talk about later, because now I'm looking at the time. It's about 1 o'clock, isn't it? Oops. But yeah, let me actually just real quick see what else we might have in that producer's letter. And yes, I know I need to... I'm still losing focus. Yeah, so Severlin mentioned that Kensai might be something that they're looking at, or we're looking at. Maybe Rogue might be getting some more attention. Melee Rangers. Um, Perhaps, range power is something we've mentioned. A Rogue Pass, new Favored Soul Tree, new Druid Tree, Fighter Pass, Artificer Pass, and perhaps a thing with Divine Grace. Those things are things that are not guaranteed, but are things that we would like to get to if time and such permits. And let's see what else we have in our producers litter here as well. Temple of Elemental Evil. Warlock. New class with the Warlock coming this year. We're considering the Warlock class. And some new festivals. Besides the Mimic Festival, we may have some other stuff going on as well. So there we go. Bacardi Specialist asks, when is the server coming down for the hotfix? Stay tuned. Probably tonight. Early tomorrow morning. Maybe tonight. We'll let you know. All right, and I think that's gonna do it with our run here. I appreciate you guys joining me to help test out this mysterious remnant thing. But it looks like our live stream is over. I happened to manage to talk for an hour. How do I manage to do that? I don't know. But anyway, thanks for joining me though. Later today, Shu and Zarmar, I'm going to mail you guys a code for 500 turbine points, just as a way to say thanks for joining me. That'll be later this afternoon, after the live streams and some of the other work I've got to get done. So late today, perhaps early tomorrow on that. But thanks very much. Let's see. Any last questions before I call it? Yeah, I think I got to call it. I got to grab some lunch here. We are going to be back for the winter fling here in about a half hour, so stay tuned for that. That'll be an Argonescent with Samus, Lessa, Bonnie, Vanguard, and whoever else happens to join us. So thanks very much for joining us here. Don't forget to give us a follow if you want to be notified for whenever we're going live for shows just like this one, starting every Wednesday at noon, again at 1:30. And don't forget to check out our DDO stream calendar for the entire week-long list of shows that we do. You can find it on twitch.tv/DDO stream. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.